blackened, dead, useless. Some might see it that way. I mean, it's hard not to, right? The idea that what you're looking at is a result of some cruel act of nature. But that little tree served an essential purpose in shaping the landscape you see around you in more ways than one, even if you can't quite see what that purpose was yet. Our own stories are planned out in quite a similar way. In this story, the main characters are played by engines of all types and sizes, who do their best to work together in harmony, most of the time. The engines like me I just mentioned run on these things called railways. Though I'm sure if you found your way here, you know that already. Each half has its role, and each engine has a different purpose in upholding Sodor's rail ecosystem. Both railways have their own unique sights to see and attractions to offer, so many tourists like yourselves visit either as a vacation destination during their summer holiday. In such cases, either of our controllers may bring in new engines to help with the workload. The day this all began was no exception.
Some good words.
Hello, James. Lovely day, isn't it?
Oh yeah, Edward, it's great.
The sun shining, the birds singing.
The birds, whatever. Don't care.
Speaking of which, Little Bird told me something today that I thought you might find interesting.
Oh.
Rumor has it that the Fat Controller is bringing D261 back to help over the summer.
What? You mean that, smelly old bowler? I thought he was gone for good.
It appears the Fat Controller is giving him another chance. It has been some time, and I, for one, am willing to do the same if he behaves, but after the way he acted, I think... Oh, sorry, James. That's our cue. Talk to you later.
Hey, Peter Sam, do you want me to get those trucks for you?
Sure.
Alright, you got it.
Be careful, Ivo Hugh. You could have caused an accident.
Oh, whoops. Guess I don't know my own strength there. Well, sorry, bud. I didn't mean to startle you on a lazy Sunday, if you know what I mean.
It's fine, Ivo. Just try to be less harsh next time. I know you're new and still learning, but the workmen are going to have to spend quite a bit of time getting those trucks back on the rails.
Don't worry. I'll try to make sure there are no more accidents around here anymore for a while. Don't want to make it too much harder on my namesake for his last week, you know?
Speak of the devil.
Hello, you two.
Hello, Mr. Hugh.
Hello, Mr. Hugh. How are you doing today, sir?
Not so good, Peter Sam, but I'll manage. I had to deal with a particularly nasty section of buckled rail earlier due to that blasted heat, and the recent news means even more work on my part, especially with all the hubbub right now. The documentary, the inspector's visit.
What recent news?
Well,
One would think that hot flashes would lessen with age. Apparently not. At least you're keeping cool. I suppose you can't really be anything else. Some things never change, they say, like you and I. We're getting old, my friend. Like the mountain of time beneath us.
You're only 119 years old. Calm down.
What the? Who are you?
I'm your replacement, Egg Timer. Just kidding. I'm the new guy. Did you miss the dedication?
What a name. Never heard of it, young egg timer.
All right, you old joker. I'm here to take you back to the yard.
What cheek. Back in my day, we never talked like that to our elders.
Geez, so serious. Well, I mean, I suppose this is my day, Sergeant. So you're coming with me. You and I are gonna have lots of fun together, I can tell.
I'm starting to miss the shed.
Well, what do we have here? King Arthur and the ladies at the turntable. What's the royal gossip tonight?
What?
You know, round table, turntable. Though I wonder who the king is. He would have to stand out among his peers, you know.
James, you're the one standing out, butting in like this.
Ah, yes. I suppose you're right. I guess that must make me...
a Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's court, completely underprepared, unfit, yet burying yourself in matters that don't concern you. Again. Of course, it would be James to interrupt the conversation to ramble on about medieval folklore.
I mean, everything's folklore eventually, isn't it?
Even us?
The history books will decide that. What were you old birds fluttering about before all this?
Ugh, it's the stupid bowler situation. Though, if you would have shut up earlier, you would have known that by now.
Oh, you old birds.
I suppose he was merely the only engine available to help over the summer. Simple as that. Though one does have to question our controller's judgment after his less than spectacular test run last time he visited.
It was perfect for a test, then. It sure demonstrated his inability.
Oh, then why is he back if he failed it? I don't know if I can handle him stinking up the yard again after last time.
We are in need of extra help this time of year, and if he apologizes, I don't see any harm in it.
The harm, my dear old Edward, is that the last time he was here, he tried to scrap us all. We're lucky he escaped before he had time to bring his cronies in.
What's a crony?
Percy, it's like a companion.
Yeah, that's right, like a partner in crime, a sidekick, a lackey, a henchman, or a hench tanker, or a hench diesel. Yeah, hench diesel.
And he's off again.
He's probably briefing a whole swarm of hench diesels right now on how to wipe us out in one swift stroke. Who knows what kind of sinister deed he's planning in this devious, dirty oiler layer?
careful. I'm an antique, you know.
Now, Duke, you'll be fine. We all know you'll likely outlast us all and keep running the line long after we've been retired.
After all, engines come and engines go, but Grandpuff goes on forever!
Grandpuff my smokebox. Why, we're all practically antiques at this point.
Except for Ivo Hugh, he's brand new.
Age happens to everyone. It's just a matter of time before it happens to little Ivo someday. Anyway, age isn't just a number, it's a state of mind. Anyway, my new friend, I don't believe I've introduced myself. I'm Rheneas. This is Skarloey.
Hey.
Duncan.
Yeah, go.
Hi.
Rusty.
Hello.
Sir Handel. And,
okay,
well, you know, Peter Sam.
Hi.
So, now that you know us, what about you? What makes you tick?
Well,
Rheneas, he's only just been built. Fresh off the conveyor belt, so to speak, you know? I mean, how on earth are you expecting him to know that already?
Well, I mean, I hardly expect you to understand my inner workings either. I mean, we were built a century apart, you know.
Oh, how hilarious. And you do. Yeah, right. Sure.
I guess. I mean, I just love getting to really work my wheels, you know? I mean, there's not a lot going on here, so it's fun to take each task like a challenge, you know? But like a fun challenge. Like, when I was out earlier on the long stretches of line in the forest, I could just let my wheels spin and my mind spark, you know? It's like so exhilarating and freeing to like feel the wind on your face. The rails passing fast beneath your weight, getting lost in your own world, nothing but you and the track ahead. It's like...
Can we get more boring and cliche? It's almost funnily idealized that.
Well, just because he's new doesn't mean that he isn't.
No. Duncan has a point for once, Rheneas. Ivo wouldn't know, of course. We must educate him on the real joy of life on this line. You see, my dear little Ivo, life on the railway is quite spectacular. At least, as much as a narrow-gauge engine like ourselves could ever dream of. You'll get to visit our beautiful waterfalls and our scenic valleys. You'll take slate trucks to and from the inclines to retrieve quarry rock for people to build villages out of. If you're lucky one day, you might get to take a passenger train to the picnic area for their holiday. But only the most experienced engines do that. You, of course, will most likely start by working here in the yard. You get up, do your duties, venture out every once in a while, and then go to sleep in the shed to wake up again in the morning and do it once more the next day. Schedules are what is required to keep this oh-so-glorious line running on time. Our routine keeps us sane, my dear engine. After all, it's our life, and we couldn't be happier than to live it here.
Well, what do you think?
I mean, it still sounds like a pretty repetitive job. I mean, this line is practically irrelevant anyways, and...
We may be small, but we can go where big engines can't. Trust me, if you give it some time.
Yeah, but that's what they all say, right? Like, no offense, but if you're not going to have any fun with it, I really don't like the idea of doing the same thing over and over again. If I wanted to watch reruns, I could just stay in the work shed all day, right?
I mean, we do have fun, though.
But fun is really a distraction from the true fulfillment you'll find through working here. It's all well and good if you get your work done first, but it's best if you keep it to yourself on your own time.
If work can only be work here, then it must be interminable to just act as pawns all day and taking care of what the big engines miss, so to speak. I mean, they're roaming free.
Well, look. No one said it had to be that, though, eh? I mean, I've had my fair share of afternoons racing an invisible opponent down the line.
Yeah, I mean, that's nice, but how is what I said any sillier? I mean, it's like the same thing.
Oh, sorry. It's just I've turned waiting at the incline into a game of I Spy whenever I'm bored.
Which now explains the reason why you got into the accident that brought Duncan here in the first place.
I spy with my little eye something grey. Yeah, it's late.
It's ignorance that causes these things, and I hate to see so many engines fall into it due to their blissfully ignorant definitions of how they go about their jobs.
Duke's right. Our line should be our priority at all times.
Exactly. Not off pretending to be Gordon.
Who? Oh, one of the famous big engines who's always racing about over there. back and forth, station to station, the mainland and back again.
Oh, that sounds like heaven. I bet the open line is even lovelier than ours, you know? How does he get to do that? Travel so much, I mean.
Oh, he pulls the express because he's the fastest one there.
Duncan, however, is not.
Which is exactly my point. We mustn't let silly fantasies distract ourselves from the real railway we have to uphold.
I don't know how you can all be content with that, then.
Well, it's where we ended up. What else can you do?
I can move on from this little railway, right? Like, I can get out of here and show the world who I am. And that's bigger than this place.
Oh? And pray tell, how are you hoping to do that?
Maybe I can beat one of those standard gauge engines, like Duncan said. Maybe instead of speed, I can use my strength, you know. You've seen how strong I am. Maybe I can be the strongest engine in the world. Yeah.
You? The strongest engine in the world?
It seems rather hysterical, though, if you don't mind me saying
I mean,
so.
him, really, him, no way.
You gotta be
It's not happening.
Why, Ivo, you can hardly handle your own train. How are you supposed to pull the longest one recorded?
I only derailed those trucks because I was too strong for them. If I had a train better suited to my specifications, I'm sure I'd do wonders.
Now, Ivo, you mustn't let that get to your head. As if a little engine like us could ever be stronger than a big engine like that.
It does remind me of that same certain engine who liked to rock and roll.
Hey!
Quite right, Scarloey. Imagine being that young and naive again. It takes me back.
Oh, hey kid. Don't remember seeing you before.
Yeah. I'm new. You might have seen me in my dedication ceremony earlier today.
Nope.
Are you Gordon?
Are you kidding me? Me? That's old Fuddy Duddy. Oh, he's something, but he's not quite my speed. Or my fashion sense.
Ah.
So aren't you basking in the welcome party over there? Seems like your mates are having a grand old time.
Oh? Yeah, that's... well, you know, I wouldn't necessarily say they're laughing with me.
Giving you a hard time, eh?
I guess you could say that. Has anyone ever given you a bad time about your interests or dreams or how you do stuff on the main line?
Oh yeah, but they're always like that, kid. They mean well, but I get what you're saying. Every time someone new shows up, they make fun of his ideas above his station, and usually they do it to scare you into behaving. But that doesn't mean they're right about it.
What do you mean?
Don't take everything they say too seriously, alright? If there's anything I've learned, it's not to let anyone boss you around like that. We just got a diesel over here today trying to tell us what to do, saying that we're too old and outdated. Well, we'll never let him get to us, huh, kid? You and I are kindred spirits. A dying, adventurous, passionate breed, if you will. We need more engines like you and I, not afraid to be our own thing, take the world by the reins and shake it up, never apologising or looking back. You want my advice? Instead of moping, take action. The quickest, healthiest path to happiness is to take the problem head on and show who's boss, you know. You can't waste your life continually tolerating the stuff people do to you or you'll be trapped. And you gotta show that you won't to those around you. You've gotta stand your ground no matter what and make yourself seen. In my experience, that's the only way you're gonna get on top of it. If someone pushes you, push back, no matter what. Don't let anyone give you any guilt or reasoning baloney either. It's all just a tactic to keep you in their system. They want that. Don't be a cog in their machine. There's always a solution to help you break out and smash the world's shell. You just gotta keep pushing for the revolution of the world. Well, kid, that's green for me. See you later. Gotta hold my own ground too.
Wow.
Here you go. Try to beat your first strength championship with these.
Quite right, Reneus. All right, Elvis. Let's see if you're able to top the slate delivery charts.
Actually, I think I'll take up that challenge. I mean, who's my competition? Old Groner and the Spice Girls over there? Likely story. See you, suckers!
Phew! Have you ever seen anything quite like that?
Hold on! Timmy, wait a second! Thank you for getting us home.
D261.
Well, anyway, thanks again. We were looking forward to seeing the mountains, but we didn't know that there was going to be this much excitement. You did a fantastic job getting us home after that in time for me to put this little one to bed.
It was my pleasure, madam. You and your family have a nice night.
He should be back any minute now. Ah, 261. Welcome back. I received a few phone calls and I've heard all about it. Seems you were splendid in getting everyone home on such short notice.
Hey, that's my word.
Thank you, sir. I'm glad my services have not gone unappreciated.
Of course, 261. Normally, the Express would have picked them up had the accident not delayed everything. You've stepped up to the plate, and I can see you've turned a stressful day around.
Absolutely, sir. I'm just glad no one was hurt.
Well, Cody will have to be sent to the works to be mended, I imagine. But you acted quickly, and I'm proud of you. You're starting to learn what it means to really be a Northwestern engine, even if your time here is brief.
Well, sir, I'll try to make my stay here as pleasant as possible.
That's a good engine. You'll sleep in the goods shed tonight. Night all.
Oh boy.
Listen, you, engines. I'm sorry about my childish behavior the last time I was here. You all are fine steam engines. I hope that you'll forgive my actions, at least for this stay.
I think we can manage that, as long as you don't insult us or our railway ever again.
Oh, no, I don't think that should be a problem. The sheds seem to have been fumigated since I was here last.
Well, that was unexpected.
He's behaved much better than I remembered. Perhaps he might have changed.
Ah, sure, Henry. That's what he wants you to think. One good deed to gain your trust, then whammo! The perfect opportunity for his evil scheme.
He doesn't seem evil, but we'll keep an eye on him.
That sounds like a good proposition, Gordon. Now, if the rest of you don't mind, my wheels have been worked so hard today, it feels like they're still rolling. Best for all of us to turn in, I think, and not waste any more time on these conspiracy theories.
But did you see how he just swayed the Fat Controller like that? It's obviously a cover, and for what? Who knows? How can you sleep when...
Good night, James.
Ring the station. If he won't move, I know who will. This'll work well.
Right away, sir.
I'll do my best, sir.
Oh well, not your fault, Julie. I knew he wouldn't move.
Oh?
Well, since our green whale here won't do his job, it appears you'll have to do it for him.
Me? Why, sir, I'm only visiting. I couldn't possibly take the express.
Why not? These passengers paid to get to their destination. Someone has to take them there. And I don't see why it can't be the engine who was just wishing they'd gotten a chance to see more of the island before they left.
Right away, sir.
Well, so long, Julie. It's been a pleasure. Which is more than I can say than working with some of my engines, as you've seen.
Well, they certainly make up quite the team. Thank you for letting me be a part of it, sir.
You'll always have a home here on Sodor, no matter what price tag stands between us. Give my regards to your own team for me.
Oh, I will. I've missed them. I'll miss you all too.
Your scarlet coat was always a compliment to our fleet.
See you later.
Goodbye.
Punctual as ever. Manager's going to scold her if she keeps delaying trains like this.
Julie, absolute darling, great to have you back, you beaut.
Thank you, sirs.
Well, of course. We wouldn't get much done without you now, would we?
Oh, it's a pleasure to see you, Superintendent. You don't usually come down here.
Well, I don't like to get my suit too dirty.
Well, it's a real honor to have you here, sir.
Oh, yes, of course.
Oh, come on, James. Don't be shy. Get over here and give your sis a good welcome.
Oh, James!
Oh, Superintendent. I was just having my brass polished. What did I miss?
Oh, yes, hello.
Oh, James, I missed you.
Oh, hey there, Julie. Yeah, me too.
Is that all?
We're happy to have you back, Julie. We couldn't function without you.
Anyways, we have some business of ourselves to attend to. We'll leave you two to catch up.
So, how'd it go on Sodor?
Oh, Oh, it was lovely, James. There were beautiful valleys and scenic mountains as far as the eye could see. The whole island is surrounded by a beautiful blue sea. It has fields of green with sandy yellow beaches. There are rivers, streams, and lots of trees where the birds sing.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, James, you don't understand. It's not the size of the railway. It's the uniqueness of it.
Well, forgive me if I don't see what makes an island unique. We're on one.
I guess you'll just have to visit one day to understand. It's something I just can't place. Here, we're just a method of transportation. But there, well, engines can truly feel at home for who we are. What do we feel? Nothing I've ever felt before. Never mind, James. I just had a good time is all. How's it been going here?
Just the usual. They've been performing more tests on me.
Oh? Like what?
Well, really, they just put my front end for an experiment that seems to be going nowhere. But they say it's quite revolutionary. Maybe I'll be the start of a new generation for our class. With my superheat and all. That'll be a splendid sight. A whole assembly line of Jameses that'll take the world by storm. But, let's start with the test being successful, and, right now,
Now see, we keep having problems with the bogey alignment.
Are you sure it's worth the time and money?
Well, I know the lads in the shop would love to keep trying, but if worse comes to worse, we'll abandon the project, that's all.
I haven't been going so well. I don't know. I just feel like some days it's a lost cause. Of course, in the end, they'll probably make a breakthrough. I just feel so pointless right now.
Oh, James. You and I both know you're just as important and unique as anyone here. Everyone has a place and a purpose, even if they can't outwardly see it. The superintendent, his purpose might be to help people around the country escape for a day, you know? Go on an adventure, make some memories, or just get to where they need to go. Our managers might be to aid him in that task by helping us make sure those adventures begin on time. That bird, right there. Her purpose might be to brighten people's day, like she has ours, by showing us the gift of her freedom through flight. But that could only be one side of her, of them. We don't know what their point is for sure. Maybe they don't even know. But they're here, aren't they? And so are we. But you just have to trust that what's happening, it's happening for a reason. You know, when I take passengers to see those outdoor plays in the summer, I see a lot of stories that surprise me. But that's because they're written so. Every detail is important, and every action of every character has its effect. Every role is important. If the world is like a play, then we all get our chance to shine too. Maybe you haven't found what your role is yet, but you will. And when that day comes, you'll puff into the spotlight and cry out, "I'm James. This is my place. Watch me go."
I'm James. This is my place. And no one's gonna take that away from me. Especially not some smelly diesel.
Oh yes, good times, good times. And then I told him, Shunter, I barely even know her.
What's that?
Harry Topper's fair? Back in town. One of us has to take the children.
Leave that to me.
Oh dear! That's how blossoming ignoramus!
can't just sit around and let these accidents keep happening. It makes our railway look bad. I wouldn't want the lad to be sent away, but sooner or later, he needs to be taught a lesson of something to get in his head.
Of course, sir. I won't let you down.
I'm just not sure how to do it.
I think I may have a plan.